Yeah, so we were just speaking about the assignment, about modeling, basically, in regards to who we want to model our lives on, or who's doing something passionate and that we'd like to model our lives on. In the book, they gave an assignment saying to find at least 3 people making a living of what they're doing and what you're passionate about. Would that be something that you would look to do?
Yeah, I think that makes total sense. If whatever you, and do you know what, when because we were talking about this earlier, and I think one of the questions was something around I think was it, are you happy or something like that? There was a question that came up, but I couldn't quite answer it. And it's probably because, it actually made me think. And I was like thinking, it made me think, do I exactly know what I want or want to do? And I've been thinking about it, and it's actually made me go back to basics almost, and like just detail what I want in the next kind of 5 to 10 years, just maybe from a personal level. And I think when I come to that conclusion or discovery, one of the things you have to do is look at who's already done it or been there before you. French, you brought this to the group before, where you said, we had that question on who did we interviewed someone, and one of the questions was something regarding, would you take some money? Would you go traveling? Would you spend 3 years with like a billionaire?
Book thinkers.
With book thinkers, yeah. And I think one of the things was, you said those before me who I maybe see as idols or see as people I look up to, they leave trinkets or nuggets of information. And with that being said, it's the same process that if you know what you want to do, you know what you want to strive towards, having 2 or 3 people who have been there before, you just kind of go for what they've done and how that can apply to you. Maybe on a smaller scale at the start, maybe on a smaller scale full stop, because some people achieve things that the average every person is never going to be able to achieve. But having those people to kind of look up to and strive towards is your best bet. What have they done? How did they do it? So yeah, I agree with what you said, French.
Sorry, go on, French.
No, sorry, what about you, Pete?
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't quite understand the question at first, but going off what Mason said, yeah, I mean, I have a number of people to which I look up to as, I don't even want to say mentors as such, but people who I look up to as to modeling their behavior. And as Mason said, a lot of these people have achieved things, and you kind of just follow their path, dare I say. There are some things which I think I need to go down that path on my own, but by and large, there are a number of things which I think the trail has been made already. The path has been set, so I just need to follow that path and just follow some of the good things and the positive things that they've done, and hopefully these are things that I'll be able to attain.
Cool. We'll move on to chapter 5, which is growth, the importance of personal growth. It's funny, we mentioned Kevin Hart earlier, but in the book, this is a statement that they've made. If you're not growing, you're doing, and if you're dying, then by definition, you're not living a meaningful life. I don't think I've read that out right, or I've written it down right. If you're growing, you're doing.
Yeah, I wrote that down as well, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, for some reason, I've not got it down properly, but essentially, you need to be growing to be living a meaningful life. But Kevin Hart made a really good statement as well, and it follows in the same line with, no matter what, people grow. If you choose not to grow, you're staying in a small box with a small mindset. People who win go outside of that box. It's very simple when you look at it. Is there a difference between growing and changing?
I think there's similarities, but I mean, there are likens in some essence. I don't know if that makes it clear enough, but I think if you change for the good, then yes, then there has been growth. But I mean, if you change and it's to your detriment, then there's been a lack of growth. So I think they are different, but there are definitely similarities.
I think there are 2 words, and there's a reason for that. Growth for me is in a positive sense. Change is both positive and negative. If tomorrow I decide, you know what, F this life, man, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go shoot up in my arms, yeah, and I'm gonna just be a bum for the next 6 months and not try and educate myself and try and develop myself. For me, that's change, but it's not a good change. You know what I'm saying? It's not growth. So that's the difference. Good point. Sorry, and I didn't come counter Kevin Hart. That's So you guys, or Poker, I know you did recommend. What was it? Poker. You sent me Kevin Hart interview with what's my man's name? What's the main man?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. I listened to that on Sunday morning.
Okay.
And really, really good. And he made a very, very good point. And it links back to what you said, Pete. No, what you just said, French, about you said something anyway, and it reignites me. Kevin Hart said, if you were a rich boy and you had it all land on your plate, just being rich in life, I don't know, it doesn't mean anything. But if you've had to work and strive hard for it, the story is just as important as the end result. Do you get what I'm saying? That grind, that kind of mentality to grind, because that's the sensation of, if you ever lose, you can get it back. So what did I watch the other day? And someone they were talking about two people who have lost it and just said, Kevin Hart again. He's talking about two people who have basically not lost it all. He mentioned Will Smith, who he said dropped off the movies completely, dropped off the radar and said, you know what? I'm coming back for my top spot. And they came again. And he mentioned someone else as well. It might have been Eddie Murphy or someone that he just said, just fell back. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had the time away, fell off, needed some time for himself, didn't want to be controlled by the industry. Anyone else I could have easily broken. But the fact that they had to grind before, they know what the grind is. If someone who's already had it all laid out for them, lost it all, could they get it back? Do they have that grind in them, that mentality, that strength of mind? So that was two good points that Kevin Hart made.
Yeah, I guess leading on from your point, in just kind of backing up what you're saying is, you get a lot of millionaires that they make it from the ground up and they lose it and go bankrupt. But because they know how to be a millionaire, they can get back to that point. And whereas someone that wins the lottery, because they don't know how it feels to be a millionaire, like what you need to do to be a millionaire, they will lose it. They'll spend, and not actually know how to manage money. So just reiterate what you're saying about just the growth. It's all about the journey as well. But yeah, is there anything? Because I've not got much on growth.
Okay, give me a second. Let me do. Okay, no, I don't. No, or anyway, the things I've written down anyway says growth is the most important of the 5 values. In order for continuum, growth requires improvement, whether small or large. Yeah, whether small or large. Raising the bar and standards with consistency. The key to life is consistency. And then it goes into most steps happen gradually, compounding habits. And then my last bullet point is leverage from experience, good feelings and also bad. Yeah, that's it really.
You want to add anything, Mace?
No, I don't. I'm ready for the book review.
We got one more chapter. No, two more. All right, so contribution, chapter 6. It's about contribution. There's not really much to go into, but I did want to ask the question: do you want to give back, and how so?
Yeah, it's very important. It's very in my mind. It's very important. Even now and again, and it might depend on my mood set sometimes. But I try and even give back to this might come across wrong, but even to my black brothers and sisters in terms of, even the other day, I think I might have mentioned this. I might not, or might have mentioned this to you guys. I went Asda and this guy, I hadn't even got into the parking space yet, and he pulled up. He looked a bit like Pookie from New Jack City, but he pulled up by my car window. He was just he basically, I turned him to go into the car park bit, and he just came up with his hands out. I thought something was wrong or something. Then he's come to my window and he's like, bro, I'm hungry, man. I'm really hungry. No, he goes, do you reckon you give him some money? I was like, bro, just let me park up first, innit? And then we'll talk. So I parked up and he's just literally felt like he was stuck to the car. I was parking, he was moving with the car. But then I got out and I said, what do you need money for? And he was like, he actually said, I need money because I want to get a meat platter. And I was like, okay, well, meat platter's not happening, but I'll buy you some food, innit? Yeah. And he's like, can you get me kebab, innit? And I was like, where's the kebab shop? These times I've been Asda, innit? I said, Asda don't do kebabs. So he said, kebab shop's just across the road where there's a Subway. I said, all right, cool. He goes, bro, do you reckon you can make it 2? I need to take one back to my missus. I said, listen to me. I don't mind getting your kebab in it, yeah. But I'm not buying two, and you ain't getting a meat platter up from me. He goes, all right, no worries. Sauce, safe. So I just went across the road, had a bit of a conversation with him, and then just bought him a kebab. That was almost like my good deed, innit? And I'm not saying man's like that all the time, because I walk past people every day of the week. I see people on the train, and I just won't do anything. But just every now and again, it's important to give back. That was my little contribution back. I don't know the guy's life. He might be a career crook. He might have fallen on some bad times. But at that particular time, at least I can say, right, I'm giving someone a food to eat that's going to last them for the next few hours. You get what I'm saying? And I think having that mindset going forward, it's important to give back. If man ever blew up or made it in society's terms, whatever, and economically I could provide back to my community, or even not even economically, in a mental state. I've done youth work before. I've done youth work. I've literally for a year taken every Saturday out of my weekend, every single Saturday, and gone to see a kid who was having troubles with schooling and stuff, who was on the peripheral of basically being like a rude boy or kicked out of school. And we've done stuff, and we've actually got him into like the scouts and stuff like that. So I've done these things, and I do recognize the importance of having some kind of mentor, some kind of providing some kind of familiarity, or some just providing some kind of assistance and help to those around me. So I do think it's very important, and I like when people make it here. They've built community center, or they've given back. They've done a football camp, whatever it is. I like that. I do like that concept. Yeah, and even if you relate it to a business sense, French, it's about when you've got your mentors there who have kind of made it. They could keep that information themselves. That'd be selfish. Kevin Hart, I'm going to refer back to again. The man turns around and says, like, I've done all this. If in 20 years no one comes and does more than me, I failed as an individual for passing on my knowledge. What am I going to do? Bury my knowledge with me in the ground, and then everything stays stagnant. Things have to keep moving, innit? And I think he made a good point.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched the end of that interview. I think it was I don't think it was this morning. I think it was last night. I couldn't watch the whole 2 hours. I couldn't watch the whole 2 hours straight. And I thought that was very powerful as to him thinking. In fact, he's generally like that. I don't want to say a philanthropist, but someone who likes actually helping and assisting people. And that point you just made as to him saying, "What's the point of me holding on this information? What am I going to do? I can't pass it on, obviously, from the grave, etc., etc." So it's very powerful. As to the question, yeah, I think it's really, really important. And to our heritage, I mean, or certainly mine anyway. I think my parents anyway, have come here, and I'm first generation, obviously, in the UK, and I just think it's important that I provide a platform, whether it's for my kids or for other people who will come after me, that they will have a head start. So, I mean, just off that basis alone, I think is really, really important. But in general, I think it's important to pass on information.
But in regards to giving back.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. So I mean, I think it's really, really important to give back. I think it's not for everybody, but for me, I think there's I would deem it a little bit selfish on my part if I didn't give back. I think a lot of people have given to me in my lifetime by way of time. By way of time and just passing on knowledge. I just think it's important that I do the same.
You ain't giving back, man. You're going traveling.
No, definitely. I mean, I've definitely given back. I mean, a lot of my time, and yeah, I've definitely given back. I mean, it's just something that I like to do on a grander scale. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I plan on doing and I want to do, I think ultimately will be given back in some way, shape, or form. And I will just try to not enhance it, but just to add other layers to what I do as to it being a real form of giving back.
What are you saying, French?
No, I was just saying, how would you give back? What would be the form of giving it back in terms of schooling, money, time? What areas? Would it be in football? Would it be in, youth work, just general youth work?
I think it would be multi-pronged really, and I think it's important to be multi-pronged. So I think first and foremost I don't want to say I'm not trying to be a role model, but with the things that, let's say the things I want to do anyway, I like to believe there will be elements of me being a role model. So these are. Would you mean to just continue? Yeah.
Yeah, you was in the middle of saying something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually forgot what I was saying, but this is what I think I was saying. I just think it's important to, I mean, like have different facets to you giving back. So for me personally, I think being a role model will be one of them. Another one will be giving my time, and another one will be by way of me being charitable. That's how I would like to approach it anyway. I just think it's important in life to have a good balance as to everything really. But in regards to giving back, I think having balance is something that I think I will lean on.
Cool. Yeah, similar. I definitely think giving back is the way. I wouldn't say the way forward, but I think that's something that I aspire to do. Similar to you, Lee, when the mood takes me, if I want to help someone that's homeless, or if someone's in need of money, then I'll do it like randomly. Yeah, but I definitely think giving back's essential. I like to try and, I don't do it every month, I'm not going to front, but I try and tithe as much as I can. Either way, whether that's giving money to charity directly, or I see someone that, as I said, is in need on the street or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think giving back's one of my plans in life, in terms of, similar to you said, P, mentoring, giving back time, economically as well at some point, once I feel I'm established enough to do that.
Cool.
So I guess another part they said is giving is living. I was going to ask do you agree or disagree, but I think that's quite apparent across the board that we agree. So we'll just run on to the last chapter, which is chapter 7, being Confluence.
Okay.
I haven't got any questions for it, to be fair. I wrote down a couple notes that I'll read to you. But in regards to questions, I haven't got any for this one. Is there anything that either one of you have before we wrap up?
No, I don't have. I mean, I have a couple of notes in Confluence, but I don't have any questions as such.
Cool. I'll what I found was interesting, and we'll skip on from that. So minimalism is a tool to eliminate life's excess and focus in the essentials. This book is about minimalism because this book focuses on the 5 essential areas of your life. And I noted down from that I think minimalism is basically a mindset similar to Stoicism. It's a different mindset how you may want to live your life for whatever reason at whatever given time in your life. So after reading about it, that's what I've come to. But as I said, we'll get into that in the book review and discuss a bit more then. But yeah, that's my part on chapter 7, Confluence.
Lee, do you have anything before I just go over my notes very quickly?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool. I have, I think, just 3 or 4 bullet points. So it says the importance of each value changes over a period of time, in which one is never really in which one is a priority over another, given a day, month, or year. So obviously it depends on where you are in life, which you would kind of give balance to something. Try to focus on all values, or try to have a balance other than your top 3. List the things that you have done that don't contribute to the 5 values, and how can you reduce that? So I thought that was quite a good question, really. So things such as, obviously now we're in lockdown, a lot of people are watching Netflix and things of that nature, and then try evaluate also how that contributes towards your life. And I would say, certainly an example of myself, I was watching Netflix, I think, after the first week or 2, and I found it wasn't actually contributing towards a lot of my output, and I didn't think I was very productive. So I decided to reduce that and turn it off completely. There will be a time when I decide to turn it back on, but at this moment in time, or certainly at that point in time, it wasn't contributing towards me and any of my 5 values. So I decided to reduce that. But other things such as, I thought about it, some of the stuff that I watch on YouTube and things of that nature, some of it is, it's not bubblegum stuff, but I'm going to use that word, all right? But I use it to actually relax me and just make me laugh, make me smile, and just take the edge off any, not sting, but take the edge off anything that I'm thinking about, which might be quite concentrated or quite tense within that period of time that day. So I found that was quite interesting, actually. With questionable items, like watching TV, how can it contribute towards your life? I mean, such as you were talking about how you don't necessarily actually watch the news often, but you have watched the news over the past couple of days, and it can also contribute towards things such as conversation, and as I mentioned, or even winding down. So that is that brings a close to my notes.
Cool. Yeah, let's wrap this one up and get the book review done.
Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Book review will be out straight after this. As you know, and I'm not even going to go through them. Fully booked on all the socials. I'm sure it will pop up at the end of this video so you can view for yourself. But yeah, see you on the other side, and tune back in for the book review where we give our honest opinion on the book we read, which was Minimalism.
Mate, don't you want to do the whole rollout for the listeners though? Because not everyone's going to watch it, so you might want to say.
Say that again, sorry.
You might want to do the 40books.gmail.com.
It will pop up. Oh yeah, some people listening.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I ain't even going to attempt it. Full_e_books on SoundCloud and 2 of the other things. I can't remember which 2 it is. Pops, help me out, man. I ain't got my card with me.
I don't know why you need a card. It's just full_e_book on Instagram.
Some of it's a bit different.
Sorry?
Some of it is a bit different.
Yeah, it's only on Facebook. Facebook's just fully booked. And also, I believe
cool.
on SoundCloud, maybe.
So what's Instagram? Full_e_books with SoundCloud and Instagram.
Twitter as well.
Yeah. And then if you want to email us, it's just the letter E, books@gmail.com. Boom.